Can I ask you a question? Have you walked away from a feedback conversation thinking to yourself, that is not what I meant to say at all? Well, if you have, you're not alone. Feedback is probably one of the hardest things moving into a leadership role. Anytime in life, in relationships, or guiding a team, you're going to fall into finding yourself needing to give really important information to your team, and it can be really hard. What I want to talk about today is if this is something that you're struggling with, you're not alone. A lot of people, including myself, struggled with this for many years. And I found myself looking at a lot of places to find things to help me get better at it. And I could salad pick for a lot of things. And what I want to do today is kind of break it down a little bit more. I think what I was missing back then was really connecting why I was struggling so much with giving feedback. I felt really alone. I felt like a really bad manager or leader. And I just felt like maybe this wasn't meant for me. And had I continued that train of thought and not really dug into it, I wouldn't have been able to make a difference in as many people's lives as I had today. And I say this because I want more people out there that are good leaders to continue to be good leaders. We have a lot of not great leaders out there. And if something like feedback is holding somebody back from keeping a role when they've got every other skill on earth to do it, then dang it, let's get better at it. So let's break it down just a little bit, or a lot of it, I should say, of why feedback feels so hard. You can go into kind of 1 to 2 categories, sometimes 3. So let me break it down, see which one works or which one resonates with you. You could be a people pleaser, right? This is somebody who wants to be everybody's friend. You want to make everyone feel good, right? You don't want anybody to feel bad about themselves. And so because of that, you are going to soften or tiptoe around the feedback or not give it to them at all, right? The not give it to them at all kind of goes into a different category, but sometimes people pleasing and this one goes together. This would be the conflict avoidant type. So this is the person who you'll see something and you're like, I'm just going to ignore that. All right. That does not work. All right. And then you've got the third one, which is going to be the direct person, right? You see an issue, you go right down and just tell that person like, hey, A, B, and C, and they're going to feel like they just got like gut punched, right? All 3 of those cannot be the best for the person hearing it, and also really not the best for you either, right? And so what I want to talk about today is like, how can we separate our slow it down, right? You got to slow down, speed up a lot of times. And so how do you slow down that process where this becomes connecting with a person instead of an uncomfortable situation? And so what I want to do is I want to talk about the feelings behind it and then how you can work through it. I do want to caveat by saying that this video and any other video that I do, this isn't going to be like, you're going to watch this and you're cured, you're going to give all the best feedback ever. What you've got to do from here is you got to practice this. That's where everything gets better is you practice these skills. You become aware of what camp you live in, and then you practice them from there, right? That's the golden ticket. But if there's any way that I can help illuminate those paths with you personally, then let's do that together. Okay, so let's say you're numero 1, you're people pleaser person, right? Okay, so people pleaser person, you want everyone to feel good, so your feedback's gonna look like this. Let's just say, and tell me if this sounds familiar. Like, hey, John, yeah, I noticed you didn't turn in your report on time last week, and you also didn't turn it in the week before on time. But you know what? You're doing all of these really great things. You know, I really saw how you showed up yesterday for Tom. That was awesome, and I really loved that text campaign that you put out the other day. Great job, man. All right. Thanks. Yeah, that dude has no idea what just happened there. You said something that he needed to hear, maybe, and then dude does not know, like, Did I get a compliment? Did I need to work on something? I don't know, right? So that's number one. Number two is conflict avoidant. I think that goes without saying. You see something, you don't say anything. You just move on and hope it gets better. And it never does. It usually gets worse. And then three would be the direct person. And that would be something like this. Hey, Tom, you haven't turned in any of your stuff like in the past 2 weeks. And I'm really not. I don't have time for that. So I need you to, okay, I need you to get that picked up. All right, thanks a lot. Not very constructive either, right? I think on both accounts, the person is going to feel confused and they're not really going to resonate with what's going on. I think the best way that I've learned how to do this, and I don't want to be like, you got to do it this way. This is the only way to give feedback. Yada, yada, yada. That's not what I mean to say. But generally, I think what I've learned over the years is giving feedback can feel awkward on both ends. It can feel awkward for you, the person giving the feedback, right? Your defenses are up because either you're fitting into one of those categories. Most people are in 1 and 2, right? And then you do have your direct people, but they're still uncomfortable as well, which is why they kind of want to bullet train through it, right? When I say you got to slow down is like, feel what's going into your body right now. You're like, I'm amped up because I'm uncomfortable. This is going to be uncomfortable for me. Find which avenue you're in and really just take a moment to be like, okay, what's the information that I want this person to hear? Whatever that is. The second thing that's going to help you is going to be like, okay, why is it important that this person receives this information? This is your golden ticket right there. Because now, if you're in camps 1 and 2, where you're like, I'm the people pleaser, I'm the conflict avoider, right? When you start to realize, like, I need to give this information to this person because it's going to help them grow. That's it. Not it's going to help them turn in a report more. Not it's going to help me get what I want so my boss is off my back. If you're genuinely care about this person or this human being as a person, the information that you're giving them is going to help them be more successful at this job so they can either A, grow into that role and become whatever it is they want, right? Or whatever that might be. But by withholding it, you're not giving them the opportunity to grow. You're basically saying, like, I can't handle this person's emotions, and because of that, I'm not going to give them this information. And here's the hard truth, and this one kind of stung for me when I came to the realization, is that's like selfish leadership. I hate saying that, but it is, because you're not doing it for them. You're kind of sugarcoating it to yourself and thinking like, yeah, I'm doing this for them because I'm a nice manager. Nope. You're doing it for you because it makes you uncomfortable. You said it that way because it made you uncomfortable. And you're disguising it as it's good for them when it's not good for them, because now they haven't improved. Now they might not get that promotion because you didn't give them the direct feedback that they needed to hear in order to prove. Insert all of those things. So if you go back to that part where you talk yourself, like, what is it that I need to say? Why is it important that they hear it, right? Those are your 2 questions. Write down what you need to say. When I was in my, I guess you could say, infancy of leadership, that is a step that I skipped, and I wish I hadn't. Had somebody told me what that would have done for me, man, that would save me a world of problems. And also, in this day and age, in the world of AI, you can literally like spit that into ChatGPT or whatever AI tool that you have and have it framed in your voice. Like, hey, I have this conversation that I'm gonna have with this person. I'm really uncomfortable. Here's what I want to say. And you could just regurgitate your feelings and all of that, and then be like, I understand this is my feelings into it. I needed this to be human with empathy, but I also need it to be like, hey, I need you to work on these things. How can I frame that, And usually AI will work with you to build a nice frame. Now, you don't sit there and read the script to the person and then look up to them, right? You use that read it 5 or 6 times. That gets sucked right into your subconscious. And then when you go into that meeting, you now know, like, okay, I have this that I want to say. And now I kind of have a roadmap of what I want to say. That helps you not go in this huge little, like, walk around world. It also helps you, if you're the direct type, to kind of like go into a way that might be more empathetic and really more connecting with that human being, right? And so those are the tools that, I wish I had that when I was first in my leadership, and two, that I wish somebody had told me. It seems so simple, and it really is, but like really slowing that down saves you a ton of time in the end. Sure, it's going to take you a little extra work to write that down and say it to yourself a couple of times, but I tell you what, you write that down, you say it to yourself a couple of times, beats the hell out of not writing it down, going in, giving feedback that doesn't land. That person keeps doing it. You're going to work 3 times harder with a challenging employee who doesn't know that they're really challenging because they're not getting feedback that they need to hear. I feel like I said feedback like at least 1,800 times in this video. I don't know. Maybe there's a different word I can use next time. Anyways, those are a few things that I wanted to talk about. Today was really talking about like your end, right? You giving it, and how to like slow that down a bit and really connect with your feelings, how you're feeling through it, and how you can connect with the other person. I hope that helps. Go out there and have some great conversations. Bye.